Welcome to Talk to Abby. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on my latest videos. Let's talk. Today we're going to talk about your self-concept. And believe you me, it is something that you need to be aware of. So this is going to be a bit touchy, and I expect you to just breathe. If you feel that this is getting too much for you, remember to breathe. It helps. So what's your self-concept? What is self-concept? Your self-concept pretty much is everything you've believed to be true about you and everything you've believed to be untrue about you. And it can be very hard to understand. It can be very hard to grasp. It can be very hard to ponder upon, because everything that makes up who you are is pretty much a self-concept. Everything, all your experiences while you're growing up, the influences, your peers, your the significant adult in your life, whatever happened in your environment, everything makes up who you are. So why am I talking about self-concept today? Because most people have held on to beliefs that has traumatized them. Most people have interpreted their life experiences in a way that it's hindering their progress. Did you know that the interpretation you give to your life experiences determines your behavior? So let me give you an example. If you grew up in an environment where your parents would constantly say things like, "Oh, shut up, sit down, we don't want to listen to you. What you have to say is not important. Must you say something? No, this is not the forum for you to talk. You are a girl. Go to the kitchen. Go and help your mom." Or, they have an important family discussion, and then you hear things like, "You are a woman. You shouldn't contribute to this family discussion. I mean, let's allow the men to talk." And so you interpreted that to mean that as a woman, you have nothing to offer. As a woman, you are insignificant. So that's the interpretation you gave to that experience. It will affect your behavior. You will go through life believing that as a woman, your role is only significant in the kitchen. That you should probably be a housewife. You should probably be useful in childbearing. You should only be useful with matters that concerns getting pregnant, raising children, and that's it. And I know so many people are in this category. So now you gave an interpretation to that experience, and it affects your behavior. So if what I just said is how you've interpreted your experience and how you've been living your life, you're going to be attracting people who only want to use you for those things. If you grew up believing that as a woman, you are insignificant, that you have nothing to offer, because you've been told this over and over again by the people who were supposed to love you unconditionally, you will be attracting people who only want to use you. You will find yourself in a narcissistic relationship. You'll find yourself in places where you're being used. You will meet partners who only want to sleep with you and then move on to the next available person that is just like you. And then you go around saying things like, "Men are scum, men are wicked, I can't believe it, he broke my heart. Every man I meet breaks my heart." No. You are the reason why that is happening to you. And so I'm inviting you to take responsibility. And that is what is so hard for many people to do, because we give reasons for things that happen to us. We focus on the external locus of control, which are the externalities, which are the influences of other people, the situation, the environment. We give power to that. We play the victim card. We say things like, "Oh, it is not my fault. It is just the way the world works. It is just how men are. Men are just scum. Men just want to use you no matter what you do." Forgetting that there is the internal locus of control, which also contributes to what happens to us and what we attract in our life. Are you catching my drift? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Because what's happening to you right now is as a result of your self-concept, what you've held on to, what you believe over the years. Let me give you another illustration or analogy. Take, for instance, you grew up in a household where, yes, you're loved, yes, you're taken care of, your primary needs are being met, but your parents don't pay attention to you. So you probably was sexually assaulted, molested, or abused by your uncle or by the males in your household. You probably grew up in an environment where you had different cousins come to stay, different uncles come to stay, and so everyone is busy, right? And then you were abused, and then you tried discussing this with your mom or your dad, and then they shut you down. They say things like, oh, shh, don't say that. That uncle is not like that. No, don't say that. Or let's keep it in the family. Nobody should know about it. The interpretation you will give to that experience is that it is okay for someone to violate me and I should not say anything. So you grow up attracting people like that because you give up that vibe. Trauma shows in the way you talk. Trauma shows in the way you breathe. Trauma shows in your sitting posture. Trauma shows in how you carry yourself. So you would definitely attract people like that. And so what happens to you? You grew up, became an adult, and then you go into a series of relationships, and then you finally got married to someone, and then the trauma cycle continues. Guess what? When you now have your own children, and if anything like that happens to them, you would want to shut it down. You wouldn't want anyone to know about it. Not because you're a wicked mom, but because it is what was done to you. Or on the flip side, you become overly protective of your female children, and you become paranoid and suspicious of everyone around them because you are afraid that they will do to your children what was done to you. And that's a trauma response. Remember, we're talking about self-concept, which is everything you believe to be true about you and everything you believe to be untrue about you. And so your experiences and the interpretation you give to your experiences makes up what you call your self-concept. So if you've gone through life believing a certain narrative, I'm here to tell you that is the reason why you are where you are right now. And the only way to break through is for you to start changing your self-concept. Allow yourself to reframe what you've believed. Allow yourself to renew your mindset, to think differently. And ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen if I change what I used to believe? If I change the belief that men are scum, men are wicked, men are genetically programmed to be cheats. If I change that notion, if I change that ideology, what's the best thing that can happen? Would I start seeing men for who they are? Or the fact that women are users, women are cheats, all they just want is to use you, drain you, take your money. Because that's what you grew up seeing. You saw your mom or the significant adult in your life use and dump men, abuse men, talk down on them. And so you just believe that women are like that. As such, you grew up with a defense mechanism against women. So for every woman that is in your space must face your domineering attitude where you boss over them, you lord over them. And if they make a mistake, you will slap them or you threaten to hit them because you grew up seeing that. Or you grew up seeing your father beat your mother. And so you believe that the only way to get a woman to submit to you is by hitting her. Or you also grew up seeing your father being helpless towards your mother, where your mother was calling the shots at home. And so you saw that helplessness in your father, where he couldn't stand up for himself. And so as a way to cope with the traumatic experience, he gave himself to drinking. He would drink to stupor, he would come home, and then he would make a mess of himself. And then you saw that as a child, and that was traumatic for you. So you interpreted that to mean that a man has to be strong so that a woman will not lord over him. Because if a woman lords over a man, it's a matter of time, the man will start acting like your father. So you are this animal that hits your wife, that hits your sister, that hits your girlfriend, that hits your female colleague. You are abusive. Your self-concept is everything you've believed to be true about you, and everything you've believed not to be true about you. The interpretation you've given to your experiences determines your behavior. In order to break through from this, I am inviting you to reset your mind. I'm inviting you to start looking at things differently. Think outside the box. Allow yourself to look at things from different angles. Stop limiting yourself to just one narrative. There are so many different points of views. You can always see things from other points of views and break through. I hope this helps. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on my latest videos. And please send me questions, send me feedback, and send me your experiences. Remember, this is a safe space.